Good morning, I'm Cadet Calvin Wirfel, and today I'm going to be briefing the third paragraph of my op board on a raid. So first, we have the commander's intent. The commander's intent is to disrupt opium production in the region by raiding opium-producing compounds in the AO. Opium will be destroyed, and growers will either be detained or eliminated. So next up, we have our scheme of movement and maneuver. Here we have a timeline. So the timeline starts at 1800. The platoon will assemble at Outpost Conemaugh with equipment ready. 1830, platoon conducts final equipment checks. 1930, platoon boards the helicopter. The flight will be approximately 1.5 hours. 2100, the platoon will fast rope out of the helicopter into LZ Alpha. We'll see that on the map here soon. It should also be noted that there are two other decoy landing spots. The helicopter will do Decoy 1, LZ Alpha, Decoy 2. So it'll be harder if they do detect us. We don't expect that they do. LZ Alpha is 2 major terrain features away from the intended target for the raid. So then at 2130, movement 1 from LZ Alpha to Rally Point Bravo. There's a half-hour delay here because we want to really sit there, have a bit of a security halt, and make sure that we're not being followed, make sure that we're not detected before we move out onto the raid. So then at 2300, we're going to arrive at Rally Point Bravo. From here, this is where we're going to do our leader's recon. So leader's recon will depart, they'll come back at 0030. Leader's recon returns and the platoon initiates movement towards Rally Point Charlie. Then at 2 in the morning, 02, the platoon arrives at the raid site. So the leader's recon comes back, gets the platoon goes to the raid site, gets there about 2 in the morning. That's about a 3-mile maneuver from Rally Point Bravo to where we're doing the raid. So we want to have lots of time to do that. It's a very mountainous terrain, also lots of densely forested areas. So then at 2:02, the platoon will be at the raid site and place themselves in desired locations. And then at 0230, members of the platoon will determine sectors of fire and wait to initiate the raid. We're going to initiate the raid whenever it seems most fitting. We want to do it in the night. We have night vision. They don't. So we think we can take them by surprise, and we also have superior technology. So that's always good, obviously. So here we have the map of our basic scheme of maneuver. So as we can see, start at LZ Alpha, head to the southwest, about 3 miles. It's probably hard to see on the camera, but you have 2,000 feet right there. So let's actually talk about where we are, because we would do that if we were doing the other paragraphs. So just to show where we are, our area of interest is Cameron County, Pennsylvania. It's about 20 miles south of the New York border, and about 5 miles to the east of St. Mary's, which is a medium-sized city in northern Pennsylvania, really the only city in the entire area. And so as we can see, Cameron County, here's the outline right here. We got north, we have our yellow circle and the star. The yellow circle, that is in Shippen Township. Shippen Township is our area of operation, and that star is the actual raid site itself. If we go back, we have a little bit more information on Cameron County. It's very sparsely populated, less than 5,000 people. It's, I want to say 400 square miles large. So again, very sparsely populated. And Shippen Township, where we're at, is even more sparsely populated in this rural area. So in Shippen Township, there's the city of borough of Emporium. And that has about 1,700, 1,800 people. And then there's only 200 to 300 other people that live in that entire township. And they're going to be living in these rural areas that we're operating in. So again, very sparsely populated. Not many houses, not many large settlements. We don't expect to really see much in terms of civilian considerations on this mission. But anyway, back to our basic scheme of movement. So LZ Alpha to Rally Point Bravo, first movement about 3 miles. 2.5 maybe. It's hard to, these things aren't exact. And then from Rally Point Bravo leader's recon goes to Rally Point Charlie. That's shorthand for the raid site. Rally Point Charlie is where we're going to set up our elements. We'll see that here shortly. Leader's recon returns to Rally Point Bravo, gets the platoon, goes back to Rally Point Charlie. In here, we actually have a topographical map to give you a better idea of what's going to go on here. Now, there are these streams here, and it may look like a formidable obstacle or an important obstacle, but they're really not. These streams are no more than 2 to 3 feet wide. I'm surprised that they're even on the map. They're very, very small. And as you can see, there is a good deal of elevation change here. We're going to kind of try to hug this hillside right here for that first movement. And then Rally Point Bravo is on a high spot above 1750 feet. And we're going to come down slightly to this house. The house itself sits on a bit of a, not so much a cliff, but a small plateau, drops off about 100 feet on each side. So the compound sits on that plateau. We're going to come down from the top and initiate it on the plateau there. So now scheme of fire. The assault element will initiate the raid using the most casualty-producing weapons. In this case, it'll be our 2 240 gunners. The PL will then direct the support element. Once fire superiority is achieved, support will shift and lift fire, and the assault will, bound towards the objective until the LOA is reached. Support will flank to the south and assault through to the north until their LOA is reached. Once both squads reach their LOAs, special teams will perform key tasks, and the platoon will exfil to LZ Delta. So that's a lot of text, but let's go over it on the map. I guess a little bit more visual. So we have, So we have assault, support, 2 gun teams, 2 security teams. This security team's over here. There is a dirt road here. It's actually an old logging road, but we don't expect much traffic. But nonetheless, we're going to have a security team over here kind of in that direction in case somebody would come off the road and see us. Up here, these guys guarding the driveway. So like I said, it's on a large plateau. So the driveway comes up and there's a switchback and it goes here. Right here is a large slope. So the LOA is on the edge of the slope. So they're going to guard this road down here. This isn't visible from up here because of the elevation change. That's why the security team's down here guarding the road. And as we can see, we have our 2 gun teams. We have sectors of fire laid out there. Assault 1, assault through till they go to their LOA. Support flanks around, goes to their LOA. And here we have the scheme of movement and maneuver with our exfil site. So exfil site Delta, LZ Delta, whatever you want to call it, is just to the east of Rally Point Charlie. If we go back here, LZ Delta will actually be about right in here below that security element. There's about 50 meters by 50 meters of flat right there by the kind of crook in the driveway where we think we can exfil. That will seem to work. So next slide. Okay, and we got sustainment.